Yeah. And
How do you manage that?
We don't know. The valve sheared and just into the piston, gored out everything. So
Why didn't you crash?
Because there's 5 other cylinders. So it's a 6-cylinder flat arrangement. So that one cylinder.
Anyway, guys, today
Oh,
I love the helicopter story, by the way. So anyway, today we're going to talk about the drone here because this is a DJI drone. These are very expensive drones, and this is the one me and James almost lost. But you guys know here, anybody watching the channel lately, that Jim Anderson here with Cap Boat, his specialty is drones. Like, he does his sailing and his drones all by himself, but this is the drone he flies. And we were explaining to him the situation that happened, and I'm going to let you guys pick it up here on what...
What was interesting is I also became a specialist in flying one of these drones into the water because I lost one.
It's true. He has more water landings than I do.
I hope you never have one.
But I fly drones a lot from a sailboat, and I was with a group of people, and we were up in Maine, and we had this windjammer cruise, and this boat was under full sail, and I said, I've got to get this from the air. And so I put the drone up and did a full circle around this beautiful 100-foot schooner, and then it was time to return the drone to the boat, and the controller wouldn't respond. I tried to move it forward, and nothing happened, and it just stayed there. And in the meantime, the boat kept on sailing away, and I was watching my drone. It was like in slow motion. I was losing it in slow motion, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And then we couldn't turn a 100-foot schooner around. I couldn't go back and get it. And I realized that when that battery died, that thing was just going to go right into the water.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing that happened to us. And we were probably at 70%, 80%, or about 65% battery. And James is going, oh my God, I've lost control. And we're both just looking at the drone. I lost sight of it. I couldn't.
Oh yeah, it was well outside, like visual to the drone. I could just use the drone's camera to find the boat, and that was the only point of reference we had.
Yeah, and then he's saying, this is it. And I'm going, what do you mean this is it? And he's going, this is it. I can't fly. The drone's not going anywhere. And
so you were trying to do the same thing. You were trying to fly it towards you.
Yeah, so we had been talking about it earlier, and what it did is the drone's some kind of internal safety feature that we think has to do with its GPS home point. It got far enough away from that original point where it decided it had a problem, and it didn't want me to fly any further away from it. So it limited my ability to fly cyclically, like fore, aft, and side to side, to about a half a kilometer an hour. That was the
so
max
it's
speed I
almost
could
like
get.
it hits a wall, and it won't come and it won't go further away from that original
it refuses
GPS.
to leave its home point any further away.
Because it knows it has to get back there.
Yeah, that's it. That's where you would return when it run. Yeah, so if we had known then what we know now, the problem is the GPS home point. We need to find a way to disable that safety feature.
So there's really nothing I could have done if this sailboat kept on going away.
Unless you knew how to real fast tell it to override that.
To override that,
some sort of
the home point.
Yeah, which is maybe a procedure I should learn to see if there's a way to do that.
Yeah, we got to figure that out because I think you can put this into like what they call a follow me mode.
Yeah,
and then it registers the home point as the controller.
Yeah,
and
that would have
that's
solved
really
both of our problems.
Right.
Yeah, but Jim's saying goodbye to his drone, and what we did is turn the boat around and head back to the drone.
Yeah, I was able to use the camera footage to direct Paul, who was then guiding the boat back underneath the drone.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what let us recover it, because we could actually get the boat underneath where it was.
And then you could land
And
it.
you had no hope of doing that.
Right.
Even if it was your boat, it's a 100-foot sailboat.
Well, I had
full sails up.
Yeah,
I had hope, but this captain was not going to turn the boat around.
The captain didn't care about your drone.
That's right.
Did you had somebody else too that said, "Hey, can you?"
Yeah, why don't you bring the drone back to the boat? And I'm going, I can't.
Oh man, what a great idea!
I thought you know what you were doing. I do. It just won't come. No, it's one of those.
It had to make you sick. A little mourning.
I was in mourning for like 24 hours, but then I ended up going on eBay. The good side of this story is I still had the controller, I still had 6 batteries, I still had all of the peripheral equipment that I had. All I needed to do was just to buy the body of the drone, and I went on eBay and found it refurbished for $300. So for $300, I'm back in business again. So it was an expensive lesson learned, but at least I didn't lose $1,500 worth of drone.
Yeah, because it gets expensive fast. I mean, I don't want to lose my $1,000 drone. I have I have the small version of this, which is I've always told James, if we're gonna lose one, don't lose this one.
Right.
But this one, these fly much better than that little one. You'll see what I don't think you haven't flown the little one, have you?
No,
It's pretty squirrely, and the time on it is really limited. Like, you're literally 5 to 7 minutes, 8 minutes tops.
This thing will last, what, half an hour?
Yeah, if you're not filming, yeah, you can actually.
I think filming in HD, we were probably about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but if you turn the camera off, you've actually got about a half hour. So
Okay.
depends on how long you're filming and clicking it on.
I was kind of paying attention, and I want to hear you guys' comments too, because has anybody experienced this before? What happened with your drones? What is the settings that anybody would need to do so everybody knows? But,
and I think I've also seen other YouTube boat channels that have had this same problem, and I don't think they got the right understanding what it was. They thought they drove into a restricted area and the drone just stopped.
Yeah,
Because
no.
that's exactly what happens when you when you fly into a restricted area. It'll just stop short.
Yeah, but I think also some of it might have been the same scenario. If when they launched it, it set that home point and they didn't realize it, then they
it took it too far from the home point.
basically, yeah.
It did what it was designed to
It
do.
did exactly what it was designed to do, just not what I told it to do.
Anyway, I want to hear you guys' comments on this, what happened to you. But me and James were able to recover the drone. Unfortunately, you weren't.
Yeah.
But again, it was $350, lesson learned.
Lesson learned.
And now is this still the same drone you fly today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So-
you only have, you have a couple drones now.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right.
you got to have backups when you fly over the water. That's for sure.
Always have
Oh,
a
yeah.
backup plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I do have this, because I do a lot of filming with the small one myself, because it's easy for me to just throw up, and it's so much easier to land on the deck. This thing right here, I would be sick if I lost this thing, because it is $1,000. This drone it's today, in today's market, this drone's a little
Well,
over.
for me, I fly a drone with no regret.
Yeah. And so do I.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, live life with no regret. We do, and we want to hear your guys' comments, so make sure you leave them. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do that, and thank you guys. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks, James. I appreciate it. Thanks, Jim, for joining us.
And cue some cool drone footage.
Yeah, we want to. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks.